A web browser has a special download capability that you can invoke with a specific response from the server. This lesson is about setting things up so the user can click on a download link and download a file. The web browser has to be told whether the file is to be displayed or downloaded. Here's an example of a JPEG file being used for display. This is a JPEG file that has a data element inside the application. The reference is the URL of the JPEG, and the browser will take that as a file to be displayed. On reading the file, the browser will detect that it is a JPEG image and will use the default program for that file type. In most cases, the browser itself is the default display program and it just displays the image. This is the same thing. The only difference is that the image here is a PNG file, which can also be displayed by the browser, and it is on a different host on the internet. I included it here to emphasize that the reference to the image file is actually a URL link. Whenever you have such a link, the target of the link is displayed, not downloaded. You normally have to do some special tricks to get it to download. Some files will switch in some browsers to download mode. For example, if the target of the link is a zip file, the browser will sometimes assume that you want to download the file. But that's not guaranteed. The system could be configured for a program to run and handle zip files, and that program could just list the members of the file. That's a bit of an extreme example, but the point is that you have to do something special to guarantee that the browser knows that you want to download the file. In this example, I have defined a servlet that can be used to download any JPEG file. This link is to the servlet named Sender1. It is passed two arguments, the name of the JPEG file and the name of the directory containing the JPEG file. Now, this path is not a URL. It is the complete path to the directory holding the file. This file is not a part of the application. It's somewhere on the disk of the server computer. Let me show you the servlet. Now, this is the simplest download servlet I could devise. I will be adding some features in the next lesson, but these are the bare bones. The web page, or the response page if you prefer, produced by this servlet will trigger the special download window in the browser. The first thing to do is to retrieve the parameters that specify the name and location of the JPEG file that is to be downloaded. The output stream, as usual, is already open and ready inside the response object. But this time we're also going to need an input too. The input stream is opened on the file to be transferred. Notice that this is a local file stream. The file is anywhere on the local computer. Any file on this server that you can open and read from inside a Java program can be downloaded just this way. Now, this is the file type information that goes into the header of the response. This is the MIME type. MIME is a standard used to specify different types of information. It was devised to be used to specify the encoding algorithm for different types of information to send them as email attachments. Remember, the Internet can only transmit ASCII characters, so the binary information in some types of files needs to be encoded before it can be transmitted, and the software on the receiving end has to know what type of thing it's supposed to decode. But that's another subject, and that all happens automatically inside here anyway. There are hundreds of MIME types. There are too many for me to list, but they are easy to find. Just Google on the words MIME types, and several sites with lists will pop up. Whenever you need one, you can find them there. This content disposition entry needs to be the same no matter what kind of file type you're downloading. This tells the browser that this is a download, not a regular page to be displayed. It also specifies the name of the file that's being downloaded. Here's where the data is sent to the output. It is read 1 byte at a time and written to the output that way. The encoding, if any, will be done automatically while the data is on its way out. And that's it. The servlet's doPost method is simply a call to doGet, so the same thing will happen either way. Here is the application, which shows the request download.html file. This first link displays the JPEG file directly in the browser window. It's pretty fast because I'm loading it from a local host onto a local host. The second display is a PNG file that comes across a dial-up link. And the third is the download. Here you see the download window for this browser. All browsers are a little different. Here at the top is the name of the file, and this is the information from the MIME description. It's now necessary for the user to determine where to put it. Here it opens my general download directory because this is where I last downloaded something. As you can see, I usually put my downloads in their own directory. The default file name is the same as the originating file. I'll just accept that here. As you can see, it happened immediately. That's what happens when you work with a local host for both source and destination. But that's all you need to do to implement a simple download. I'll add some features in the next lesson.